All right, thank you for tuning in to the Brutal Sobriety Show and or Dead Set on Living podcast. Uh, Maybe even Sober Fluid Show, Trial and Error Boys. We could also maybe indirectly we're maybe thinking of going by Washington Redskins. Like, why are we not? You know what I mean? So anyway, I haven't figured out a name. We'll get there though. So my name's Rob.
Hey guys, I'm Waylon.
Did you hear me cough? Or was I able to mute myself?
I don't know. I couldn't hear you.
I heard it.
Whatever. I'm Steve.
Dude. All right. So we're going to be talking about our story. We're all sober. We're all just happy to be here and we're sober. And we thought it would be a good idea to kind of share our stories, how we got here, what to expect in early sobriety, and what's worked and what hasn't for us. Maybe with the hopes of helping somebody else out. So yeah, I don't know. Also, we may indirectly be sponsored by Pizza depending on how this goes. But we'll figure that out after.
Yeah, and we're figuring out how to record a podcast, how to use a studio, how to import, export audio, and all that bullshit all at the same time.
Yeah, so basically what Steve is trying to say is like he is bearing the load massively here. And we appreciate the heck out of him, So yeah, I don't know. Let's dive right in. Waylon, do you want to start off maybe with your story?
Sure. Yeah, I'm Waylon. I am a grateful recovering alcoholic and drug addict. I'm thankful to be here, thankful to be sober. I've been sober for about 3 years and a little over 3 months now. Life has just got unmanageable the older I got. I've always grew obsessed with drinking, even at an early age. My first drunk when I was 14, I blacked out and I just remember feeling on top of the world then. And it just progressively, got worse over time. And then, by the time I was 23, I started going to AA meetings. And ultimately it was just to impress some chick that I was trying to get back together with. But then that, kind of flopped. And then I went back out and I was just a chronic relapser for close to 10 years. And then, this past relapse that happened, I made that call, said enough was enough. I surrendered to a higher power of my own understanding. And life is way more manageable today because of, just following through with doing the work and, getting a sponsor and helping me work through the steps and to, teach me how to live a better life than when I was living because, yeah, I was a fucking mess. So that's kind of like a little bit of the gist of it.
That's awesome, dude. Like, I can say like, I'm fucking stoked. I'm so stoked that you're sober. You figured out a route that's worked for you. Because for a while there, like, I was in maybe like 2-3 years of sobriety, and you were struggling. Watching you still kind of go through it. It was tough, man. I'm sure we can all relate. We're seeing people still struggle with what we struggled with, and we know like it's possible. But we also know that we are the ones that have to make that choice. We have to be like, no, we're done. Because the way you worded it, chronic relapser, that was a pretty good one. That kind of resonated with me a little bit. Um, I feel like that's like the beginning stages. Yeah, I don't know. I'm proud of you, bro. I'm glad we're all still here. Um, just love the heck out of you. Okay. Um,
You do,
you
bro.
want yeah you wanna take it off, Steve? There,
You got
Al?
popcorn it over to me. Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Like, around 14, 15, 16, used to go to Quebec and, buy booze. That's where it started. Like, because anyone could buy booze. Like, you could be 14, 15, whatever. And it was like, it was a time where like it was socially acceptable to get hammered. You'd go into school the next day and then be like, "Oh, looks like you had a good fucking time last night," and like you'd laugh about it, and then eventually it would just spiral out of control. And like my problem was really all or nothing, so I could go
Yeah,
like days without drinking, like no problem. But when I fucking drank, I could drink like a fish, and that's where my problems would kick in because like you'd be it's like part of me wants to say like was I addicted to alcohol or was I addicted to bad decisions, like maybe a little bit of both. But it definitely spiraled out of control. Like it would be essentially the norm to go hang out with your pals, get shit faced, and just make horrible decisions all the time. So that kind of piled up over time. um, I always had the plan of quitting drinking before I turned 30. And a bunch of shit happened over the years. Just like nothing was getting better, wasn't moving forward in life. Uh, Joined AA, did that for a year. Um, it took one kick at the can. I was able to stop drinking fully October 10th of 2020, I believe. And just able to keep the straight and narrow, head on my shoulders, and no relapses or anything since there. But it was a challenge for the first few months. It was tough. And that's when I realized, like, oh shit, I definitely had a problem. So it was that feeling of almost withdrawal, you know? You get the sweats, you get the shakes, and like there was a time where you drink like 18 beers to go anywhere. Like you go shopping, you'd have to pre-drink to go shopping at a fucking mall. You'd pre-drink before a show. You'd pre-drink before going on a walk. Like it was pretty bad. You know what I mean? So I nipped it in the bud, and been on the straight and narrow ever since.
dude, that's
Yes,
fucking
sir.
nails as fuck. Yeah, it's interesting you say that. Like, I remember literally having to pre-drink for fucking basically everything, man. Like
Yeah.
pre-drink to go out in public to go get more booze to drink more. Like, it was like it made like everything more fun.
Yeah, and it
Yeah,
was socially acceptable. Like I'd be like, like Waylon, like you want to go downtown today? You want to go? I need to get a new pair of pants. All right, let's have a few beers before, and then a few beers on the bus back in the day, and
Yes, sir. I
yeah,
miss the bus beers.
dude.
yeah.
Yeah, I used to fucking go to the Rito Center like and like grab a couple tall cans at the Rito Center. Fucking like yeah, like what the
Or you
hell?
do anything.
Oh yeah,
First
yeah,
stop, LCBO.
yeah. No, that's so
We
funny.
have
We have
choppers.
choppers.
But
Yeah,
I think that sort of set in for me like when I was like a teenager and like smoking weed. I used to have to smoke weed to do fucking anything because it was like yeah, it was funner. You know what I mean? And then I don't know. Yeah, that's so interesting. Okay, I mean let's do the full circle here, and I'll talk about my story.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. It's your turn. Yeah. We both went
back
there,
in
Val.
2017, and by the grace of God, I've remained sober, and dude, horns as fuck, dude. Uh, yeah, it was tough. I mean, I remember similar to Waylon and Steve, like I started drinking at a young age. Well, like not like drinking like every day at a young age, but I remember like I experimented with alcohol at a very young age. I was 13 when I got blackout for the first time, and I drank a whole fucking 26er of Smirnoff vodka, and, and I have a fucking scar on my forehead from it because I like fell over on my face and I had alcohol poisoning, and that was my first time really getting fucking wasted. You know what I mean? Like, and I didn't fucking really drink that much until I don't know, maybe 15, 16, and then it started really getting. Yeah, it wasn't like all the time thing, but it was every time I did, it was to get as drunk as I fucking possibly could. And in between
Mm-hmm.
and in between those periods of time, like I experimented, like I smoked weed a whole bunch, nearly daily, and experimented with like all sorts of drugs. Ecstasy was huge in high school for me. Did a fuck ton of shrooms. That was fun as fuck. I'm not gonna lie, but now I'm just no completely abstinent. Like I have no desire to use drugs or alcohol. Um, there's a part of me that feels like kind of grateful I got it out of my system. Like, and I got through the maybe like first
Mm-hmm.
3 years of sobriety, and then you kind of just come to terms with like, man, this is life, dude. It's like I'm okay with this, you know.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, I mean, like I was skimming on rock bottom for many years. I don't know, fucking blew up my life many times. I flunked out of college, moved to Ottawa, like completely changed like direction career wise, and I started like booking shows and trying to just like get into the music industry. And a part of it was a lot of fun, and part of it I didn't know what the fuck I was doing or what I had like what all of that entailed. I was just kind of winging it, and I don't know, the stress of that. I just couldn't handle it, man. And then my life blew up again, and there's another rock bottom. I got into like harder drugs, tried to end my life, and then I got into a couple car accidents, and then in 2016 I overdosed and I nearly died off of cocaine and speed. Thank God I was able to live through that, and bless the people who came through clutch for me when they did, because I'm not sure I would be here if they hadn't. Um, and thank you to my parents, my mom and stepdad, for never giving up on me. Otherwise, I don't think I would have gone through. I would have lived through that. I know I'm kind of drifting here. It's just sometimes it's heavy to talk about. Um,
Yeah, man. Well, of course, it's
Yeah.
it's grateful. It's good that we show gratitude with our parents are always going to be our number one supporters. Like no
Yeah.
matter
yeah,
at times it doesn't feel like it, right? Especially when you're bickering with them
yeah,
in early
oh,
sobriety, especially. But
yeah.
yeah,
Early
no,
sobriety
they've
was
got your back no matter what.
100%.
Yeah, and
But
it's like
yeah,
one of those things. Sorry to cut you off. Like when like you mentioned before, you're like, no, I don't really like want to talk about it. It's not like you can go as high level as you want, like whatever makes you feel comfortable to talk about. Totally cool. Like even when I was dishing out my story, like yeah, I'm like, oh, skip that, skip that, skip that, skip that,
yeah,
skip that. You know what I
for
mean?
sure, for sure, for sure. I mean, for the listeners tuning in, this is obviously going to be like our first episode, but like full disclosure, like we've been trial and error doing this for like a little while. This is like our fifth, sixth go at at this. So it's like I just feel like I'm repeating the same shit to the same people. But like that's that's the main thing for me. I have no shame. I'm like I feel like my boys don't want to hear this, but yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway,
it's not hard to hear.
after I OD'd, my drinking got like the worst it's ever been. I gained a fuck ton of weight, dude. A fuck ton. I was disgusting. Um, and then I had a dog. I lost my dog in a bender, and I ended up meeting a girl, and we came up with this fucking sick idea to move out west. And I was like, yeah, fuck it. I tried the whole moving route. I know Waylon's experienced this, where we're just like, hey, like maybe like my problems won't follow me if I just like move.
Yep.
Dude, they do. They follow you, bro, and they get worse. Um, and yeah, so I was bouncing around like Vancouver Island and Vancouver for about 6 months, experienced like homelessness a little bit, and it was kind of fucking crazy. Saw like the craziest shit I've ever seen in Vancouver, which was super fucking traumatizing. But like again, bless this girl who came out with me. She saved my life probably. Like I would have 100% started doing like fentanyl and shit, and like I would have died out in Vancouver, man. So yeah, I ended up I remember I was in my hometown Nanaimo, BC in the summer of 2017, and I dipped out where we were living, and I was just like, I have the idea that I need to go to rehab, and like I dipped, I packed all my shit, and I was downtown, my hometown, like just trying to get into a rehab. Didn't really realize that like that's a process. Like I was just like, oh shit, like I'm fucking homeless. I got nowhere to go, you know. And anyway, I ended up going to my grandfather's, and he wasn't there, but I was able to. He was able to coordinate getting me in there, and I basically I detoxed for about a week, and it was fucking disgusting and very uncomfortable and shitty. Um, Lots of poop, dude, so much poop. But yeah, and then I ended up taking a Greyhound from Vancouver back to Ottawa after I detoxed and just like fresh into sobriety. And that was like 5 days on a bus. Um, that was also disgusting. Fucking what? And then got back to Ottawa. I was sober. I stayed sober for about 3 months. Um, and I ended up relapsing. That relapse turned in like lasted maybe about a month and a half, and then my body shut down. I had to get hospitalized, and that hospital date was my sober date. And I've been sober ever since. I remember being in the hospital, and I fully surrendered, fully 100%. Was like, I'm done. There's no more. And I made a promise to myself and to God as I understood him at the time. And I've never looked back. It's been the hardest thing I've ever done in my life, but it did get easier. But in my experience of kind of skimming on rock bottom, like in those years, like I knew I had a problem, but there was still a part of me that was like, I feel like I can make this work still. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, no, don't worry about like the fucking 17 jobs you've had in 1 year, or like moving around and your fucking finances just being out of whack. You have like you have like a negative credit score. It's like negative 600. Like all this sketchy shit you're doing. No, it's cool that you're like smoking crack every once in a while. Like it's okay, man. Like there's definitely, I don't know. You start to manipulate yourself a little bit, but once I fully fucking surrendered, yeah, I just moved forward, and my life has gotten infinitely better year by year. I mean, shit still happens. I've had crazy years, but yeah, that's sort of my story and how I got sober. Yeah, I know that was a lot. I feel like
That was good. That was good.
I just fucking I laid it all out there for you. You know,
That's it,
that's
baby.
my
That's
story.
it.
That's
Yeah.
my story.
And shit still does
Um,
happen, but it's so much easier to manage with a clear mind
mhm.
and able to take steps to um, fix any issues that are going on in your life or repair or just any other cinnamon
Cinnamon.
cinnamon. Yeah. Is
Yeah,
uh
man.
is is that your new hat, by the way?
This one?
Yeah. Yeah.
No, no. The new hat I got was like a sort of like a fedora type of thing.
Oh,
I'm not wearing that on camera right now. I'm not mentally. Like, I'm not ready. I'm
that's
not
next
ready to.
week.
I'm not ready to put myself out there like that, dude.
Next episode.
This fucking guy wearing like a full sombrero, spilling his heart out. Imagine.
I'm like eating chips and like dipping it.
Yeah, rock bottom. That would have
Rock
to be rock
bottom.
bottom.
That's rock bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're fucking stupid.
Yeah.
The dumbest, dude. The dumbest.
Um, yeah, I guess I'll share a little bit more on my story too. Since we're getting all deep and stuff. No.
Was I too?
But no, not at all, man. That was great. That was good. Um, I remember my first time like getting blackout drunk. I was just like 13 or 14. I think it was 14. And I was starting my first band at the time. And the guitar player made a plan that we were gonna get drunk one night in his basement with their girlfriends, and I wasn't dating anybody at the time, but the other guys had girlfriends from different schools in Canada growing up, who were a couple of years older, and they had older siblings that had access to booze. So we had a 40 of Smirnoff vodka, just kind of passing it around, and I didn't want to come like ill prepared. Like I didn't want to look like that guy, like showing up with nothing. So I stole some of my dad's whiskey and put it in a water bottle. Nobody wanted to touch it because it was the dark stuff, and nobody wanted to get into the dark stuff back then. So I ended up drinking the whole thing myself. And then, on top of the vodka that everyone was passing around with each other, I ended up being like this shy 14-year-old kid, never having kissed a girl, to having made out with everybody's girlfriends. um, and then I got my ass kicked by my bandmate who pushed my head into a park bench. I blacked out, and then next thing I remember, I was getting blood clean from my face from his mom, and then saying like his dad's on his way to pick him up. I'm like, fuck. And yeah, I just remember waking up the next morning like soaking wet because apparently I passed out in a puddle. And I got grounded for like a month, but I just remember being like, that was the best fucking night of my life. you know? And then it was just a party like every weekend moving forward from there. And then until it wasn't. The older I got, um, the worse off things were getting. Like, I started getting into trouble with the cops. I started, every relationship that I was getting into, I couldn't stay in one because I would push them away. And, like Rob said earlier, I tried the geographical cure, left Ottawa, moved to BC, Vancouver Island as well. And then, I started drinking like heavily every single day for a year straight until I started experiencing, DTs. And a year and a half, and then I went back out thinking I could like handle it, thinking I was like cured, I wasn't. I ended up losing my license, and then getting arrested again, and then I got out of another relationship, and then I was like, at this point in my life, like this isn't working, so I had to try something else out, and then just kind of expanding on the whole like AA thing. When I first came into the rooms, like I didn't want to fucking be there, AA, that's for people that want to quit drinking. I don't want to fucking quit drinking. I have to, but it's not something I want to do. And then, once I would think to myself that I was okay and that I could handle it, things would get worse, and then I'd get in more trouble, and then worse trouble, do harder drugs, and yada, yada, yada. And, one thing I can say about smoking meth was it helped me quit cocaine.
That's like a fucking.
But yeah.
Yeah. It's like those stupid infomercials.
Yes, sir.
And they're like, oh, may cause this, and then it's just like a commercial for smoking meth, and it's just like, may cause you to quit doing cocaine. And he's like, not doing cocaine anymore, dude. Yeah.
Dude, it was so much better.
Dude. That's what I OD'd from. It was, my heart, like, fucking almost exploded. My parents still have PTSD from it. They don't sleep anymore. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, sorry to cut you off. Keep going, bro.
Oh, no. Well, when I moved back, I got into like a long distance relationship with somebody like I met online, which made things even like, more difficult. I was just, something about us like alcoholics and addicts is we just, something we touched on another week that we did this is, we chase chaos unnecessarily.
Yeah.
I don't know why I was putting myself through this like long distance relationship, but like I was trying everything I could to make it work, because I thought that she was my answer, right? Like I put all of my, expectations and hopes and desires into like building a life with her in Boston. And that's not where I want to fucking be. I don't want to fucking be in Boston. That was the worst accent ever. Never mind. Cut that out.
Babe, I lost my car keys.
Go pack the car down at the harbor. There we go. That was better. Get some chowder. And then my last relapse, I ended up like drinking heavily on my way to go visit her over the Christmas holidays, and I got locked up in Toronto overnight in the drunk tank, and then woke up after another blackout in the hospital in Boston. And I'm like, you know what? This is fucked up. So then I think it was the shame in my stepdad coming down to pick me up from the Logan airport, in which like put me into that like spiral while I was like going through withdrawal, like I'm a fucking loser, and all this stuff, and feeling like really down in the dumps about shit. And like, I lost everything. I lost this, I lost that, and, the worst, I thought to myself, like, well, what's the worst that could happen if this like praying thing doesn't work out? And that's like, nothing happens. So I just kept going for it. And the more I did, the better I felt, the better things were going. I ended up getting back together with her. And then I was able to see with a clear mind that she actually sucked. And, it didn't work out with her and I. And then after a year of getting sober, I ended up linking up with somebody I met online. And now her and I have been together for 2 years. We live together. We're moving to Ontario in the next year or so, closer to her family, and then taking that next step. and we've got a few dogs and cat, and life is great today because I put down that bottle and I learned how to say no after that first drink, and that's why I'm here today.
Thank you for sharing, dude. That's we're all just like living life, and we're like the same people. We don't have like. I'm just glad we've all stayed in touch, man. Like, cause like it feels more authentic when we hang out like this and talk or whatever, or chat. Like we're just who we're supposed to be. I don't
Absolutely.
know. I think it's beautiful, and like we're all retarded though. I'm not gonna lie.
Well, yeah, without question.
Do you think? Okay, honest question. Like, do you think? For me, I think like I did like major damage to my brain, and it kind of like that with trauma made me retarded, but also funny. Do you think like we would be less retarded if we didn't do what we did?
I think I'd be more ahead. It's hard to say. Like, I know I definitely hit my head quite a few fucking times. I remember drinking in one of those terrace homes, the 3-story there with a bunch of pals, and we're like throwing peanut butter and wood chips at each other or whatever was available.
That's the
And
best.
it was amazing until I stepped on a rug that was covering a fucking hole and fell 3 stories into a concrete basement, and just had the wind knocked out of me. I probably lost a few brain cells there too, but I was more concerned about getting the wood chips, the peanut butter, and the eggs off of me to hide it from my parents at the time. So I was probably cussed, probably needed to go to the hospital, and sure as shit didn't. And now I don't know Saturday from oranges. So that was pretty much the start of it.
Yeah. We all have those stories, like that's just very specific.
Yeah. Very specific. I wonder if you can still see it now that my hair's kind of growing back, but I knocked my head. Actually, I slammed my head against concrete like purposefully when I was blacked out. But you can't see it now because my hair's growing in. But
yeah,
there's like this dusty bar behind IKEA, and I remember
Sonny's?
I was there. Yeah,
Sonny's.
Yeah. For some reason, I was
Sonny's.
Dude, I'm not gonna get into it, but I was there drinking, and I was mouthing off to this group of Somalian dudes, and you know what I mean? Like, don't do that.
You can see where this is going.
Yeah, dude. So long story short, I got thrown through the door, and I got woken up by cops in a snowbank outside. And so I have a fucking scar on my fucking eye. You can't see it anymore because I got my back tattooed, but I had a big scar on my fucking back from getting like pushed through the door. Dude, yeah, it was fucked. And like the cops took me home to my parents. Actually, they didn't take me. Yeah, dude, this is a real story. Like, you can ask my fucking parents, bro. Yeah, they took me home, and I had to wake my parents up when I was like fucking 23 years old, being like, hey, like, I'm good. I'm not dead. Yeah, it was terrible.
That snowbank story, like, immediately, I gotta tell just very quick. It's a very tame story about Waylon. It's very tame. It's tasteful. There was one time at my old place that we ordered pizza, and we had it delivered. It was just delivered across the street, like 50 fucking feet away. Okay, so like obviously we're drinking. Like, all right, go get the fucking pizza because you're not even paying for this. Like, just go get the pizza and we're gonna eat it. 45 minutes later, Whalen shows up with the 3 pies in his hand, covered head to toe in snow. The pizza's all the boxes are all folded up, so pizza's flying all over. I'm like, Whalen, it's 50 fucking feet away. What the hell happened? And you know, that could have been a good time to surrender as well.
I forgot about that.
It's a tame story, but you falling in the snowbank immediately reminded me of that.
I remember there was a Kettleman's Bagel that just opened up near your old place too, and they had this promotion where you would download the app and get like a bunch of free bagels.
Oh yeah.
So I walk over and get like 5 bagels and just fucking munch on them because that was my lunch. Just plain.
I was just a cack.
Oh shit.
New email and new 6 bagels. Hey, Frank here to pick up my 6 bagels. Hey, Trevor here. Put the hat backwards. Hi, Trevor. It's Trevor.
Yeah, we did it a couple times.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I had like 40 bagels in my freezer.
Oh, the good old days, boys.
Yeah.